So we are chatting about our show, Meet Me at the Plaza. And I have a question for you, Julian.
hmm
What show themes resonate with you the most and why?
So, um, I think the ones that resonate with me the most are probably the ones that I'm remembering right now. So we'll start there. So I think
Okay.
I think like a big part of this for me is about like yeah creative discovery and kind of what finding a voice as like someone who makes art, someone who like makes stuff, and figuring out like not necessarily like I guess it's just about what voice feels right and like what feels good to make and like what is what feels like true to your identity. So like I think this this show is like yeah, sort of like an opportunity for us to come together as people who've known each other for a very long time, like as creative individuals and explore like creativity together and what that means to us at like at this point in our lives because I think it's always kind of changing. Yeah, so I think yeah, just like creative identity and creative expression and like um, why like thinking it's kind of like self-referential I guess, but thinking about like why we're doing this and like why it is enjoyable and why it's meaningful and all those things. Yeah.
Nice response. Yeah, I'm thinking honestly the same. I was thinking about this over the weekend, and yeah, the show, a lot of it's based off my writing. But even every piece was different and every piece was written for a different purpose. And people take different things away from each piece. But like as a unit, in terms of the storytelling and also the music that's gonna be happening, I am really resonating with the journey itself, like the journey of finding and holding on for dear life to creativity and feeling like creativity is sort of like out of reach, right? For whatever reasons. And also, yeah, as people who've known each other for so long, also feeling like it's about connection and friendship. And so I'm really like I'm resonating with that because being in our 30s or mid 30s now
Yeah.
is I mean I have never even that, I'm 34, but
No.
I'm like, dang, we're in our mid 30s now. That snuck up on me. But that definitely, yeah, seeing not yeah where we are and the conversation we had before we pressed record and how like irritated we are over certain things in the world. It's just like how do we nurture not only our creativity but joy and connection and like all of the freaking madness right now. That's so that
Mhm.
that's like
Yeah.
what I'm thinking about and like what resonates with me right now.
Yeah. I like that.
You want to ask me the next question?
Sure. Yeah. So the next question. Um, so what does this show mean for you as an individual? And then I guess to you for us as a like collaborative duo. I guess we can kind of both answer that.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think for me, there's a I feel like I answered it a little bit in the previous question. I didn't expect that, but um, just those themes, right? I think I feel like um, I have these moments in my life where creativity is like something I just truly care about the most, like nothing else matters, right? And I've find myself realizing like even when I feel like I'm not being super creative, I am, right? Like it might not look like writing a poem or writing an essay, but it looks like, going overboard with planning my son's birthday party, right? Because that's the only place where I can get the creativity out, or, planning a really elaborate dinner for my family. And um that's what it's been looking like. Creativity has been, I've been finding it in different places over the last few years, last 7 years or so. And since being a parent and trying to, survive the pandemic. Um, and then, but in the last couple of years, I have really been trying to prioritize it as much as possible, because it's really felt like the only way that I could survive and keep myself sane. I may not be like the most mentally well that I could be, but I'm sane. A lot of that is to creativity. So kind of I want to. It means a lot for me to, I guess, to be honestly, just still be here and still be making art and still be wanting to share my art with others, um, especially sharing it in Chicago, where I just moved back in fall of 2024. And as soon as I had moved back, my dad passed away on Thanksgiving of 2024, and I've just kind of just been going with the wind since he passed, and not haven't really felt like I found my footing as a live performer, at least in Chicago, in the last few years. And so this is sort of, in many ways, a return for me back to live performing, something I really enjoy. Um, so that's it. So the show means a lot to me. And as an individual artist, and then as a collaborative duo, I think it's a lot of fun that you're going to be here. You're going to be in Chicago.
Yeah.
For those who don't know us, we have known each other since elementary school in El Cerrito, California, and so you're coming all the way from the Bay to Chicago,
Mhm.
and we get to, I don't know, have fun creating things together. And that feels really special, knowing how long we've known each other. And also I think, like, I know, throughout our friendship, we've always really encouraged each other to pursue things creatively. And but we haven't collaborated before. So I am
Oh,
excited about that. So that feels really special. In terms of just like, yeah, growing in our friendship, especially as adults, when again, life is hard and maintaining and sustaining friendships, that is hard. So I'm really
hmm.
grateful for this. How about you?
Yeah, yeah. I'll start with kind of the duo part because, like, definitely share a lot of those feelings, and like, just it's just the part that has already been cool about it for me is like I don't normally look forward to planning meetings about things, but it's nice because it's like, oh, I get to talk with Kisa and plan this thing, and it's like we get to catch up, and it's like it's another way to like deepen a friendship and a bond, which is like super cool. Feels very different from any other. Well, it's not work, so it doesn't feel like work, right? So that part is really cool, and it's like I've really like respected and admired your creative through line throughout your adult life, and been very impressed with how much you've done and all the different kind of hats you've worn. And it's like it's just cool to work together and like um, have have someone else to like bounce ideas off of, and like yeah, encourage me, and like and like yes, it's a symbiotic kind of supporting each other, making art thing, which is really dope. Um, yeah, yeah. And then as far as like what this means to me, I feel like I'm at definitely in a place in my life where I'm trying to prioritize creativity and artistry like more and more, especially as I'm like navigating not really identifying with my career or enjoying it or getting burnt out, like all these things, and turning more toward making music and spending more time doing it and like taking up kind of a bigger and bigger part of my headspace, which I really like. It's cool. And this is kind of encouraging me to, well, like, yeah, almost forcing me to like make something within a certain timeline and like something that I've never done before because it's like I've never actually performed music that I've written myself before. So it's like it's something where I don't know if I it would have yeah it's a good like forcing function because I don't know if, what it would have taken for me to just do this on my own necessarily. So having the creative partnership is like kind of spurs that along, which is super cool. Um, yeah, and I'm seeing kind of what the it's cool to think about. I spend a lot of time thinking about like what is the worst that could happen. Just in general, being like a generally anxious person, and it's cool to be encouraged to think instead like what what is the coolest thing that could happen? What could this be? Not even the coolest, but like what if it went well? Like what if it brings something else with it? And like pushing yourself to yeah, or like pushing myself to get out of my comfort zone and do that is like yeah, it's inspiring. So yeah, it means a lot. Yeah, same.
Yes, yes. Thank you for
Cool.
sharing that. And I think you touched on this a little bit, but how do you think that we have influenced each other in our creative practices during this time?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, already, I think from like reading "I Used to Be the Sun," your zine from several years back, and like kind of feeling the mood and the emotions, and like trying to work that feeling into music has been interesting. I think just um, yeah, just in general, like thinking, holding things in my mind from like the things that you've written and like your like collages and the visual art stuff that you're doing and like trying to hold that in mind while making something has been like a really interesting process um, for me and like kind of challenging in some ways because I have gotten better at just making things in terms of making music, but I think the muscle of like making something with intention and with um, yeah, kind of a cohesive theme in mind is like that's kind of the next level that I'm like learning to do. Um, yeah, and I think it's just like um, yeah, it's I think um, seeing you uh, like dive into and like trying new mediums and like working your way into visual art and like these sort of things has been it like has inspired me to like kind of trust myself more in the creative process and like just kind of go with it um, because it's like I see you making cool stuff and you're just trying it out and figuring it out and like that's so inspiring. So like it's yeah, it kind of like gets this sort of like flywheel effect or like builds momentum and inspiration for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I love that. Yeah, I think for me, it's yeah. I'm kind of like, oh well, I brought Julian into this. I gotta make it happen. That's like my motivation. So you're coming all the way from the Bay. I'm like, we would have fun with like no matter what. But I'm definitely like, all right, I gotta do this. Um, and I also like in my professional life, especially around the time when I created, I used to be the sun. I was diving into um freelancing full time and had to really learn how to trust myself and the decisions that I wanted to make and the vision that I had. And I didn't fully buy into what I was doing. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be very honest about that. I like felt very capable, but I just didn't feel and I did know what I was doing, right? But I didn't I don't know, I just didn't have enough buy-in. And that's part of the reason why I got a full-time job because I was just like, you know what? I gotta take a break from this. But that I've just been like, oh man, it's nice to like have another person commit to doing the thing with me. And even when I'm like, I don't know, it's like, well, we already said we're gonna do it. We're just gonna see and figure it out, see how what happens. And we've kind of like, all the low have kind of agreed, we'll just do another show, right? Like so it can like continue. You can build upon it, right? Like if it completely sucks, it's okay. Just keep trying. And that feels nice, right? Because I feel like if I was doing it by myself, I'd be like, oh, this is not working out. I'm not doing it. And so it's definitely been keeping me motivated and accountable for sure. And yeah, seeing how you've gotten excited by certain things that I'm creating and how, it inspires you to make some music. That makes me excited. So it's it's like okay, yeah, we're just like riffing off of each other, right? And yeah, I like that. That oh, now it just seemed out. I've been trying to do this whole time. Cannot figure out how to turn this thing off. But anyway, that's what was I saying? But yeah, it's just being able to bounce ideas off of each other and trust each other and ourselves throughout the process has been really helpful for me. And I also like it, I feel like I can't really remember the last time I created like a live show with someone. Like I've written, a couple poems or, maybe an essay with people. But it's been at least 10 years since me and somebody else been like, okay, we're gonna do something together live, right? And it feels nice to be able to do that again, especially with someone whose music I've loved forever, right? And I'm I think, I mean, yeah, I would say the saxophone inspires me a lot. And seeing how you have committed to it over the years still inspires me. And so that's what I think I've enjoyed the most and seeing how it all comes together, right?
Thanks. Yeah. Uh, cool. I mean, you, yeah, again, kind of touched on parts of this in the last answer, but like, how do you trust what people are saying about your art instead of prioritizing what you think? Um, yeah, and this was something we it kind of came about naturally in an earlier conversation we were having, I think last week. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I feel like it takes too much effort to lie, you know? It's just a lot easier to tell the truth. Like, you might not like, you might like sugarcoat things a little bit, but like, it takes a lot of effort to lie. And I feel like if someone is going to say kind things to me about my art and what it means to them, they're probably telling me the truth. Because they could have just been quiet. They could have just like kept quiet and never said anything to me. And in a world where there's a lot of lurking, especially online where we're sharing, it's really easy to keep quiet. And so I'm like, okay, the fact that in this day and age, somebody is willing to tell me how my art makes them feel, like there has to be some truth to that. I think that I have definitely fallen into this trap of thinking like, well, not now, but in the past, I would think like, oh, well, I mean, are they like someone who really reads like that? Like, are they like, are they like measuring up like my art to like, what's the most important and like the standard? And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck the standard. The standard is whatever that person likes. And if I'm meeting that or exceeding that, like that is what matters. And so I have been just trying to focus on that in the last few years. And I've actually have been sitting with my art more. Like I've been going back and reading things that I've written in the past, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually a pretty good writer. Like I actually like reading my work. If I found a zine that I made and not knowing who I was, I'd be like, oh, I actually really like this. Like I can see why people engage with it, and that makes me go, yeah, you're tripping. Like I don't- just like chill out a little bit and believe what people are telling you. And how about you?
Yeah. Yeah. So much of that resonated with me. I mean, like, I, yeah, I think in terms of like, I don't know, it's as the person who makes the thing, it's like, I think you're the person who makes the thing is probably the one who's best at finding the faults in it. Um, and like, I definitely embody that. Sometimes I feel like listening back to my own music is like I get the same sort of feeling when I listen back to myself talking on videos and kind of cringe at how my voice sounds when it's not inside my own head. So it's uh, it's yeah, it's like there's definitely a very strong kind of critical voice that has to be tamed or maybe ignored at least some of the time. So yeah, and it's like I don't know. It's yeah. Similarly, like I feel like I used to tell myself when like way back when I was like in jazz bands and stuff in school, and people would compliment like a solo I took or something like that, and my gut reaction would be just like, oh, they're just being nice. Like they don't mean it. They can't. They're just trying to make me feel better. And it's just like what a waste. What a waste of energy. And like what how much nicer would it be to just accept compliments that people make like as if they are sincere.
Mhm.
Like it just doesn't. Yeah, there's no real benefit to that. To like the yeah, just like the self-flagellation. So like it's like I don't know, and also it's just like art is difficult and like it um, can be really rewarding. It can feel like sometimes like it can feel uninspiring, and sometimes I've definitely questioned like, what am I doing? Like this doesn't feel good. Like so, I think taking whatever positive input you can get is worthwhile, just for the sake of like encouraging yourself to continue down the creative path and try new things and just keep trying. So like yeah, there's also an element that's just like anything that someone says or like any action that someone does that encourages you to spend more time making art, it's like you might as well listen to it. It's probably good to prioritize and worth doing. Also, just because the more art you make, the better at it you get. It's like a practice thing. So there's so many good reasons to accept compliments gracefully and sincerely, um, and I guess also listen to criticisms of people you trust. That's also like that's very worthwhile, definitely. But like, yeah, just try to continue to be encouraged by the things that you hear. I think that's what I try to remember. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Especially the like accepting criticism from people you trust. Like, who do you actually, whose taste
yeah.
do you like, right? Like, if it's a matter of, figuring out what standard you're trying to achieve, like, whose taste do you like and trust? Like, that's a big one for me.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, for sure. I love that.
Yeah, yeah,
So what do we hope to achieve by sharing our art? And why are we doing it in as a live show?
yeah. Live show because it's fun. It's like engaging. It's so cool to like share a moment together and see how art impacts people and how, yeah, just like hopefully, I mean, I guess in terms of things to achieve, it's like my ultimate goal is like I would love to inspire more people to make art and trust their creative selves and like pursue that further, because like I think yeah, just like the more art people make, the better in general. Like broadly speaking, we'd probably be in a better place as like a society if more people were making art and prioritizing creative pursuits. So like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like, and I don't know. It's like I want people to feel something. It's like part of the other part of it is like finding what resonates with other people and
Mm.
like touching on something that resonates and like part of like the shared human experience is just it's such a cool thing. It's like that's doesn't get much more human than that. So like yeah, yeah, I think that's about what I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I second that.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, just we need more spaces together. I love the internet. I'm an internet person, but it's there's only so much we can really do. Um, and I feel like meeting in person and having a show in person, like inviting people to share the space with us, in person is incredibly important right now. It's a way to say that it's okay to want to feel connected, right? Like, I feel like I know so many damn people on the internet, but I don't actually know anybody, right? I don't know. I miss what a lot of people like smell like. I miss what people like hugging people I haven't seen in a while. I miss seeing how someone gets excited when they're like really digging part of a song, and that's why I want to do this in person, right? Like for the people that we know, and then for the people that we don't know, who are just like, man, I just want to feel more connected to being human, and I want to feel more connected to other humans. And I feel like this show is an invitation for everyone to explore that, and to also be okay with needing that. Like it's okay to feel vulnerable because the show is definitely vulnerable. It's very vulnerable. And it's also fun. And it's a big risk. And I'm not usually a fan of risk. I'm not. I like to plan stuff. I like planning things. You can plan to come to the show, but what's going to happen? I can't promise. I can't guarantee. So it's a risk for you, right? And I like that. I want people to feel like, let me see what this is about. So that's why we're doing it as a live show, and that's what I hope to achieve. Like, I think that's what we're interested in, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Come to our show. Meet me at the Plaza. It's happening Friday, September 18th at 6:30 p.m. in Logan Square. And sign up to get the details of the exact location, as well as more information about the show. And we are also going to have another conversation together. So if there are questions that came up for you that you want to ask Julian or me or both of us, please ask us anything. We may not answer everything, but please ask us anything, and we will get back to you in our next conversation. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Bye.